Hi friends, welcome to our 9th standard biology first unit, Protectors of Biosphere. You have already learned about biosphere in your previous classes. It is defined simply as the area of the planet where organisms live, including the earth's surface and air. Okay? Here is a poster you can see in your textbook based on the message global warming. I think you have already heard about the causes and consequences of global warming. See, it's a dangerous phenomenon which leads to the rise in Earth's temperature. As we know, the main reason of global warming is the increase in the level of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. Approximately 4.2 billion years ago, life originated on Earth. And all organisms need oxygen for the energy production, which is essential for performing their life process such as growth, movement, maintaining homeostasis, defense. Organisms absorb oxygen from atmosphere for releasing energy by oxidizing glucose into carbon dioxide and water. As we know, increasing human population and indiscriminate activities like burning of fossil fuels, deforestation, clearing the vast areas of vegetation, etc., leads to the rise of greenhouse gases like carbon dioxide, methane, etc., in the Earth's atmosphere. However, we are going through the hazardous after effects of global warming like increasing in temperature around the world, climate changes, hurricanes, rising sea level, heavy downpour, etc. Then how can we prevent it to a certain extent? By reducing the use of fossil fuel vehicles, engines, generators, etc. and by preventing deforestation and by encouraging reforestation. Yes, plants can resist this to a certain extent. You can observe the illustration 1 given in the textbook of page number 8 later. Why don't the level of oxygen in the atmosphere decrease? Because plants release oxygen. Why doesn't the level of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere increase? As we learn, carbon dioxide is absorbed by plants. Which process in plants regulate the level of oxygen and carbon dioxide in the atmosphere? As you know, it's photosynthesis, the process by which green plants and certain other organisms transform light energy into chemical energy by using carbon dioxide, sunlight, and water. Now you have understood how plants control global warming. What are the essential factors that are required for photosynthesis? Carbon dioxide, water, sunlight, chlorophyll, minerals, and salts are the essential factors that are required for photosynthesis. How do plants acquire these factors? Plants absorb carbon dioxide through the stomata, which are small pores present in the epidermis, that is the outermost layer of cells of leaves. These openings are surrounded by guard cells. Do you know, along with carbon dioxide, water should also reach the leaves for photosynthesis. How do they reach the leaves? Plants absorb water from the soil through roots. The xylem vessels then transport the water to the leaves. And the next factor, chlorophyll, is present in plants itself. You have studied earlier the pigment chlorophyll imparts green color to plant parts. Do you think why the upper part of leaf greener than the lower part? Because in the upper part of the leaf cells there are more numbers of chloroplasts than the lower part. Chloroplasts are the cell organelles seen only in plant cells. Photosynthesis takes place in chloroplasts. What are the different parts in chloroplast that help in photosynthesis? It has a double-layered membrane. The fluid part inside is stroma. The part seen as the membranous sacs is grana. Pigments that absorb sunlight are found in this part. Chlorophyll A, chlorophyll B, carotene, xanthophyll are the pigments present in the grana. All these pigments can absorb sunlight, but only chlorophyll A can directly participate in photosynthesis. All other pigments absorb light and transfer it to a chlorophyll A. Hence, they are called accessory pigments. Now let us go to the chemistry of photosynthesis. You know, plants produce food and oxygen through photosynthesis. Photosynthesis takes place in chloroplast in two stages. The first stage is light phase and the second stage is dark phase. In light phase, light is used and light energy is converted to the chemical energy and stored in ATP. It occurs in the gram of chloroplast. Dark phase follows the light phase. Here light is not used. It occurs in the stroma. The energy in ATP used to combine hydrogen and carbon dioxide to produce glucose. The cyclic chemical reactions in the dark phase are discovered by the scientist Melvin Calvin. Hence, this phase is known as Calvin cycle. He was awarded the Nobel Prize in 1961 for this discovery. Okay, thank you.